Okay.
Why did I decide I was going to be an artist? I guess that's the question. I suppose it goes back, if I go back far enough, I could say that it was probably when I was 4 years old or something like that. But I think maybe everybody at 4 years old decides they want to be an artist, or most people. That is, when a kid gets to finger paint or something like that, that's probably a time when one says, I want to be an artist. And I guess the question is, when did I really think seriously about it? And I think, in all my recollections, when I think I was 6 years old, first grade, I would regularly come out of St. Augustine's School in Des Moines, go over to the Des Moines Arts Center to a friend of mine's house, a kid named Tommy Murphy, who lived directly behind the Des Moines Arts Center. I go in there a lot, and my recollection, I don't know if this is just a childhood recollection, but my recollection is I go in the front door and come out the back door. Perhaps it was a side door or a different entrance. But I remember seeing some very, what I would call then hard-to-do paintings. One in particular that I remember was a Delacroix, or maybe it wasn't a Delacroix, but it was a horse. I cannot even remember if there was a rider on the horse, but there was a horse, and next to it sat a Joseph Albers homage to the square. I immediately was confused, or I questioned, why is it that this square within a square was the same kind of being, or the same kind of thing, construction, whatever, that the horse was. Because on the surface it seemed that one was something that represented something elsewhere in the world, and the other thing was more like what I call design when we were in kindergarten and grade school we did things for like folding paper and then coloring the fold marks. So I think the question came up, but I absolutely did not dismiss the Albers. That is, it didn't even enter my mind that it might not be a legitimate work of art. What entered my mind was, why was it a legitimate work of art? Why was it included in the same category as a representational painting of a horse? And that kind of set me into a frame of mind where I wanted to know more seriously what this was about. I would be avoiding the issue if I said that there wasn't some influence due to the fact that my uncle was a woodworker and architect. And maybe even just as important, the fact that he had within and around his house collections of paintings. He had Morris Graves, he had Shoji Hamada pot, at least one. He had several sculptures by Harry Batoya, the famous sculptor who did the pieces that could be tuned and made certain sounds. And he had numerous Ben Chans, who was a close friend of his up there. So going out there every summer, I couldn't say so much that I was influenced by him, but I was influenced by the idea that he and his lifestyle were that of an artist. That is, he made his living from making art. And I think because of that, I felt like that was one of my options. my dad, of course, as a doctor and a practical second-generation Japanese American, always encouraged me to be something like a profession like law. He didn't include medicine in that, even though he was a doctor, but architecture was what he said when I first did drawings that were good. So it was definitely somewhere back there between 6 and 8 years old where I thought seriously about the idea of being an artist for a living.